What's up, guys? Zack here with Zappy. I am at one of the coolest breweries here in Austin, Lazarus, and I'm here with Christian, who is the owner and founder of Lazarus. Welcome, Christian. Thanks for being here.
Chief troublemaker.
Chief troublemaker. Okay.
That's my job. I just cause trouble.
Yeah, just cause trouble. So someone else puts out fires,
That's
right?
basically it.
You
yeah.
start fires.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. Christian, full disclosure, Christian and I are neighbors.
Yeah.
So he's one of the people I've known the longest in the Austin beer scene, but I actually don't know the backstory of Lazarus.
That's crazy. I spent 14 years in software, and then I actually made a radically different shift and became a pastor. Spent 7 years in ministry back in Montana, where I'm from. But along the way, I started brewing beer. And a good friend of mine who ran a brewery in Montana was like, you got to start a brewery. And I'm like, I'm a pastor.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't go to church, but I know pastors used to do this. I know my brewing history.
Yeah.
And he meant the monks and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course,
so
yeah.
eventually I was like, I'm still a pastor, but I think I want to try to start a brewery.
Okay.
And so we moved to Austin at the end of 2013 to see if I could start a brewery.
Okay.
And here we are, 2 locations later.
So you moved from Montana to Austin to start a brewery.
Absolutely insane.
So 2013, you moved here. What's the first thing you did?
I thought, man, this is going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
And so it took 3 years to get our first location off the ground. We opened Christmas Eve of 2016.
Okay. Was that a coincidence or was that like strategic?
It was like, we have to get this thing open.
Yeah.
The launch date is coming. I'm like, guys, if we work really hard, we can make Christmas Eve happen. And that'd be a pretty cool anniversary.
Yeah.
Got open on Christmas Eve. When you open, you never know if anybody's going to come.
Right.
And all of a sudden, there's people. That first location was just crazy. 2017, 2018, 2019. Right in kind of 2019, we were gearing up to open a second location, this one here on Airport Boulevard. COVID hit. We still worked on it all through COVID. Opened in late 2022. So this one's been open just over 2 years.
That's a great story, man.
Yeah, it's
funny
crazy.
that I've never actually...
The amazing thing is a pastor opened a brewery and it doesn't suck. It's actually like pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Yeah.
what's kind of the vibe you're trying to create? What are the crowds you're trying to attract?
We're not a restaurant. We're not a bar. We are a brewery that happens to have really great coffee. We roast our own coffee.
Yep.
My wife, Marilyn, has been roasting for 20 years. So we're open in the mornings. People work out of the space all day long. And then it just kind of morphs into meeting, happy hour, party environment, trying to create space for people to share life in. And we do that around coffee, beer, tacos. Enjoy.
So you mentioned kind of your background. Did you have any service industry experience prior? No?
No. And I'm like, oh, it shouldn't be that hard.
How hard could it be, right?
And you start doing all this, you
Yeah.
start realizing, like, this is fucking Austin.
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to do something, we need to do it well.
Yeah.
And then-
You can't get away with
And
mediocre.
so you realize, like, oh, guess what? Like, I had friends that came down when we first opened. They're like, oh, are you brewing? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, they're still using your recipes, right? I'm like, no. You hire a great team and you give them the tools they need and you let them do their thing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so that's been the process, is just going like, okay, I think the one thing I'm good at is actually starting businesses and then putting a team together to run them.
Yeah.
And then kind of getting out of the way so that they can do their thing and making sure that I get them the resources they need to do a great job.
Yeah. Are there any beers on the menu that you came up with or you created the brewer for?
Listen, almost every beer on the menu is inspired by like some aspect of our life and story.
Okay.
A lot of the beers have biblical names.
Sure.
Because I'm a pastor, so it gives me a really good excuse to like lean into
Lazarus in general, right?
People are like, Lazarus. I'm like, yeah. A lot of the times what we'll do with the brewing team is I just talk, they like ask me questions and I talk about Montana and I talk about like these beers that I came from an incredible beer scene. And so I had all these memories.
What part of Montana?
I came from Missoula.
Okay.
So it was a town of about 80,000 people, counting a college student, probably 100,000 people.
Yeah.
But we had 8 breweries when I left.
Wow.
And it's probably up to 15 now.
That's a lot.
So I came down to Austin, and at the time, Austin was 1.8 million people, and there were 23 breweries. I think one of the things you realize with beer is along the way, you have great moments, great conversations, great experiences, and you develop this really strong attachment to like certain beers, certain styles. So like right now, we've got a beer on tap, which is only on tap twice a year. It's called Big Sky IPA. It's the recipe from the guy in Big Sky Brewing in Missoula. He's the guy that got me here. He's like, go ahead, use this recipe. Just don't do it too often. That's this friendship beer.
So you're more of a creative director than a mad scientist at this point.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That makes sense.
My daughter actually worked for us for about 5 years as our head brewer. She kind of came up. Our original brewmaster taught her. She went to brew school. She is actually a much better brewer than I am.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks, but is also really cool.
Yeah.
We've won, I think, 5 different gold medals at national, international competition.
Yeah, it's also
most of our recipes are hers.
Wow.
Which is pretty badass.
That is cool.
To be a 29-year-old girl.
Yeah. So obviously you're known for beer. What else are you guys known for?
Our coffee program is really good. And our food is very, very solid. We do street Mex, fast casual, it's not sit down restaurant. This is meant to be a place that people come 3, 4, 5 days a week. It needs to be someplace that you want to go have a nice dinner. Our carne asada is excellent. Our tacos are great. Our tortas are really solid.
You guys have a lot of gluten-free options, right?
Yeah, so all of our beer is actually gluten-free or gluten removed.
Wow.
So you can be a celiac and drink our beer. And the amazing things, all those banners from awards, those are all gluten-free, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Because most of the time when you say, it's gluten-free beer, people are
people assume it's going to be bad, yeah.
And then people are like, why isn't everybody doing this? And I'm like, I don't know.
There's a stigma probably that they can't get over.
I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
We're very gluten-friendly.
Yeah, that's really cool. What's your favorite item on the menu here? And that could be food or drink.
My absolute favorite beer. It's a beer that we have. It's an IPA that we have on fairly regularly, but it's not all the time. It's called Walks on Water. What would Jesus drink? Now you know. It's really an old school, Northwest American IPA. So it's a little bit darker, a little bit more malt background. That, to me, is kind of IPA I grew up drinking in Montana, Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of heart affection for that. And then also during the fall, winter, we have an oatmeal stout called Oris Dawn.
Yeah.
Oris Dawn was the name of my grandfather.
Yeah.
This is really a family business.
Yeah, for sure. What do you get to drink out at someone else's place?
Oh, man. If I'm going to drink an IPA, Electric Jellyfish is a great IPA.
I love Electric Jellyfish.
Everybody loves it. If I'm going to drink a Pilsner, Meanwhile's Pils, if I had to pick one brewery that wasn't mine, that was just that's all I can drink from, it'd be Odell.
Odell. Yep.
They're based out of Fort Collins.
Yep.
I really appreciate their brewing. So that would be, kind of what I'd look for.
What are your favorite bars or restaurants in Austin to go to?
The favorite place, it's Suerte. Great food, great cocktails, great service. So that's kind of our little getaway.
Yeah. So happy hours, right?
Yeah.
So Zappy's a happy hour app. I never tried to bully you into having a happy hour, and you arrived at that conclusion on your own.
Listen, I was like, hey, we're not doing happy hour. Every hour is happy hour.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You kind of have to adapt to the times and be kind of nice to have a happy hour. And I was like, guys, if we're doing a happy hour, it needs to be fucking awesome. One of our team came up with this, hey, what if too good to be true?
Yeah.
$2 beer.
Yeah.
Time machine, baby.
Yeah.
It's easy drinking. It reminds us
kind of like Asahi a little bit.
Yeah. It's what it was like to drink back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then we've got bean and cheese tostadas for $2 a piece.
Yeah.
So you could come in and have 3 beers and 2 tostadas
under
for
$10. Yeah. Tax and tip. Yeah.
Not bad.
It's not bad at all.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was really excited when I saw that you guys had added that because, like I said, I've been wanting to be like, hey, man, neighbor to neighbor, you don't have a happy hour. I'm a happy hour enthusiast.
There you go.
Let me help you, Any big plans, specials, changes, anything coming up that you want the world to know about?
Right now it's just continuing to do what we've always done well. We have really great beer. I think we have really great food, really great coffee. We need to run a tight ship. Everybody's struggling right now in the industry.
Yeah.
And so the biggest thing we can do is to do a good job of staying in business and being here for people. We feel like if we do that, we'll be fine. My encouragement is the world's going to get better. It's not going to stay like this forever.
Yeah.
So have a beer and we'll get through it.
Yeah.
And we'll
figure it out.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's give Christian big thanks for sitting down with us.
Come out to Lazarus Brewing.
Really excited for you guys. Thanks for
cool. Thank you.
Cheers.
All right. Have a great one.